most people don't know that when you go through a traumatic experience like I did being a tornado survivor, there's a lot to work through. There is years and years of trying to figure out what happened. And today I want to talk through a process that I came up with called the PSI method that I think is going to help you out. So let's jump into it. PSI method stands for power, smart, important. Okay. PSI is like the PSI pound square inch that you have in a tire, because after a traumatic situation, a lot of times you can feel deflated. A lot of times you can feel like you're running on an empty tire. And so we want to make sure that your tire is filled up. And so the PSI method pumps you up by going through each one of these PSI: power, smart, important. So the first one, power, is that I have the power to choose how I'm going to react to this traumatic situation. I remember after the tornado, I felt a lot like there wasn't a whole lot of good to this situation. I mean, my house had just been torn apart by a tornado, and we didn't have a place to live, and it was just an awful feeling. And I found myself, just wanting to kind of mope around and not really get out of the hotel room. I mean, it was just a really hard time. But I chose to believe that I had the power to overcome this traumatic event. I had the power to choose how I was going to let this traumatic situation dictate my life. And I chose that it would be a good situation, that I could bring help and love to people, and understanding and safety to people, to not go through the trauma that I went through. And so that was the first step, was understanding that I had the power to choose how this traumatic situation was going to affect me. The next one is smart. So you have power, smart. Smart is that you got to remind yourself you're smart, because honestly, after a traumatic situation, you can start to feel kind of dumb. I know that I went to bed every night just kind of kicking myself for decisions I'd made about insurance before the tornado happened. And if I would have picked this insurance, if I would have known more about insurance, I could have done this. And I don't really understand what forms they're asking for, or what I need to do in order to, get the insurance check that I need. But I realized that I didn't need to be smart in everything. I had people around me who were smart. And so that, like, in turn made me smart, right? Like, if you know the people around you are super smart and you can lean on them, you can find the answer. And that makes you smart as well. So you don't want to go, around just thinking after a traumatic event, I'm so dumb. I can't believe I did this. I should have known that. Just remind yourself that you are smart and that you're going to be able to get through this. Then the next one, and probably my favorite one, is I. So you got PSI, power, smart, important. And important's my favorite one. And this happened a whole year after the tornado. I was sitting in my barber's chair, and he was asking how everything was going after the tornado. And I said, honestly, another year of tornado threats is coming up, right? We're entering in tornado season again, and I'm not doing well. I shake whenever I have, a chance of a tornado comes on the news, or even just a chance of a thunderstorm. And he said, hey, man, you're important enough to get help. You're important enough to go and get counseling. And he helped me understand what a counseling process called the EMDR was, so I could get rid of my PTSD. But I didn't think I was important enough to get that figured out. I thought I needed to take care of everybody else. And he helped me understand you got to take care of yourself. And you may know somebody who's in a traumatic experience right now, going through some trauma. It may be you, but it also may be somebody that you know, and you need to reach out to them, remind them that they're important. All right, so that's just a quick overview of the PSI method. That after 5 years after I survived this tornado, that I started to kind of pull together and understand, okay, this is how I overcame this adverse situation. This is how I overcame trauma. And these 3 simple steps, the PSI method. I went ahead and put it into a book that is on Amazon. It's called the PSI Method, and you can get it today on Amazon. I'll put the link below. Check that out. Also, if you're not familiar with my tornado survival story, you can check that out. I'll pop that up right here as well. Have a plan for this tornado season that's coming up, and stay safe out there.